Look, sucker, this my gun butter. Street fighter.
Blizzard battle, Randy, Herschel, and your boy K-Dub. Let's get it.
All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Here we go. So we're gonna recap the Super Bowl right here. Final score 34 with the Ravens, 31 San Fran. What y'all think about the game?
I thought the game was excellent up until the lights went out because the game should have been a straight blowout. The Ravens was killing San Fran on every level of the game. And then the lights go out and it changed the hard momentum of the game completely. It seemed like once they came back on, the game started back up again, the Ravens were totally flat, like they didn't even want to play no more. Ray Lewis was walking around. Well, he was in the field like, let's just hurry this over so I can retire. I was like, oh my goodness, please don't let these boys come back and win. And they almost did. But it wasn't that good enough. Well, you know what? I got to agree with Herschel for a second. I got to agree with him. I never really do. But I've been knowing him a long time, and he's right about that. And I will also say, to me, the biggest drama of the Super Bowl besides the blackout is I personally think that Jacoby Jones should be the MVP. The longest kick return in NFL history, playoff or Super Bowl, 100 yards receiving also, or close to 100 yards, maybe like 85. He got a touchdown receiving, touchdown kick return, and they only won by 3 points. But you get an MVP to the Joe Flacco. Hey, man. I'm not saying Flacco didn't play tonight. It's just a Hall of Fame kick return is a pretty big deal. I mean, that's the last kick return I remember in the Super Bowl was Desmond Howard. And that's all Desmond Howard did was that kick return. That was it. So to have a kick return plus a 70, 50-yard touchdown pass where you broke 2 tackles of it, I thought that was a big deal. I thought he should have been an MVP, you know? That's it. Other than that, Herschel's right. For 3 touchdowns. And, who cares? 3 touchdowns. Who cares? 11 for 22. I mean, it always goes to the quarterback, man. I mean, if you really look over the history of Super Bowls, that's how it goes. If you have a quarterback that has a good game and throws at least 3 touchdowns, that's how that is. Yeah. But 3 touchdowns is not the greatest quarterback ever. I don't know why you always got to try to dog me, Randy Coates. But the truth is, he had the longest kick return in like NFL/Super Bowl history. That's a big ass deal when you only win by 3 points. I mean, if it wasn't for that kick return, they would lose the game. Hey, you're talking about something that you said wasn't going to happen in the first place. That was the turning point of the game was that. With 34-31, that kick return was it, man. Go ahead. You said San Francisco was going to win, so basically anything you say from that point on don't even matter. I mean, everything my word. Joe Flacco. It is my word. Right? Have a good game. I was wrong. I thought that the San Francisco Hardball completely abandoned his play calling. We're talking about within the 10-yard line. Everybody reacted. Running the ball 74% of the time is running plays. In this particular game, they went for it on passing plays. 7 out of the last 11 plays was all passing. It was as if I was watching somebody else as the head coach. What the hell was he doing? Passing ball, first, second, third, fourth, the second first down after the penalty. He just kept passing the ball. He completely abandoned his play calling style, and his brother stayed true to form, and he did not. So you're right. I mean, my words, because I felt like the coaches just abandoned everything about them. Like they have, when Michael James, who I did pick as the X factor, I'm eating my words on that. He fumbled the ball. I believe it was the first half though, and then Harbaugh from San Francisco just abandoned the running game. Just said, forget about it. Who cares? We're just going to do this instead. And to me, when you're playing against a team where the entire defense is over 30 years old, the only way to expose that age is to run the ball, and you no longer run the ball in the second half, then nobody's going to know how old they are. They look like they were all 24 years old because he just dropped back to pass. And that completely played into the hands of the Ravens. But I'm eating my words because you still got to play ball, and the Ravens did it. They balled out. They smacked them in the mouth, and San Francisco came back even with that pass again. They came back, and the Ravens still got up in them. So I'm taking my hat off. I'm eating my words. So who cares? Because like you said, Herschel said, 28 to 6? So who gives a damn what I was talking about? The score was 28 to 6 before the lights went out. So who gives a shit how bad the coaching was? Because the coaching on Baltimore was worse than San Francisco. So I'm eating my words. You're right, Randy. You're right, Herschel. And you're right, everybody else. I was completely wrong. No.
All right, well, I think the best part of the Super Bowl was actually Beyonce. I mean, after it was 28 to 6, I really turned my lights out, and I was ready to go ahead and enjoy some Beyonce. But other than that,
God bless America, because if I would have been a cameraman, that Super Bowl halftime would have been so bad.
just like the cameraman.
Cameraman, they would not have been able to air that shit in 31 states. God bless her. God bless Beyonce. Poor Michelle. God bless Beyonce. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Just like the cameraman that was filming Alicia Keys the whole time he's filming her booty. Like she's singing
oh my God. God bless Alicia Keys. Can we all give a salute? Can we all give a verbal salute to Alicia Keys?
Yes.
And Beyonce right now. And Kelly Rowland. Let's put Michelle to the side. But let's just talk about
why are we doing Michelle?
I didn't say nothing was wrong with it. I'm just saying, let's just salute the people who are supposed to be saluted. Beyonce number 1, Alicia Keys 2, and let's give a solidarity, honorary salute to Kelly Rowland as well. Michelle, maybe next time.
Yeah, I thought they were looking good. Alicia Keys, Beyonce, even Jennifer Hudson. I think and plus the performances were good too. So, you gotta give it up to them. But next year's Super Bowl probably ain't even gonna be that good for its performances. I don't even know who they're gonna have. And then it's rumors that they won't even have a halftime because it's gonna be too cold. So, who knows?
Yep. This is the average degree is like 18 degrees, which is right now here in Buffalo. It's freezing, okay?
What I wanted to say was, all three of you gentlemen were right. I wanted to salute to you, Herschel, Ray, and Randy. I was dead effing wrong. And I want to also salute Anquan Bolden because I overlooked how important it was that he got a ring. That's a big Anquan Bolden. Go ahead, Anquan. He balled his ass off. He blew the Super Bowl. And he gets a top flight salute from me. Way to fucking go, Anquan.
He's clutching the ball. He could have been MVP also.
That's true.
He was making some catches in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. But that damn Jacoby Jones with a 108-yard kickoff return. But you're right. If he had one more touchdown, he'd have been the MVP. One more. Only one touchdown. And he got 120 yards. It's not quite going to get it, but he was close.
But this is what I don't understand. Right before the Super Bowl, he comes across the screen talking about the Ravens might trade Anquan Bolden. He comes after the Super Bowl. That's because of salary cap reasons. That was because of somebody else.
Bolden is even.
I think he did 6 points.
Yeah, he's even saying that if he doesn't stay as a Raven, that he's going to retire. So that's the latest with Anquan Bolden.
He's only like 32 or something.
Yeah. Yep, still young, but you talking about you gonna retire if he can't be a Raven. So who knows? But I do want to say
that's a good bargaining chip, though. That's a good bargaining chip.
yeah, I do want to say that I made 2 mistakes last week, and I gotta apologize for it. The first one is saying that Vernon Davis wasn't going to be a factor. He was. I didn't know that they was going to throw Ray Lewis on Vernon Davis for like the first half, and he was killing him. Quite honestly, that's one thing. And the second thing, when we picked our top 5. Man, once again, it's not because of the Super Bowl, but I got to drop Randy Moss to number 3 and put my man Michael Irvin at number 2. Because, the one thing about Michael Irvin versus Randy Moss is that, Michael Irvin never quit on the field. And you can see in the Super Bowl that Moss didn't even try for that pass that got intercepted by Ed Reed. It seemed like...
Terrible throw. That was a terrible
Yeah, that was true, though.
Man. Like, that throw was it was late. Randy Moss was wide open. 2 good seconds. Then he threw it at second number 5 or something. Come on, man. I hear you on that.
Yeah. I mean, I like that.
Michael Irvin could very well be number 2. But your reasoning to shit on Randy Moss is... Randy Moss was ready to go. Like when he was the same kind of output as Michael Irvin, the quarterbacks in the offensive line couldn't get him the ball. They went 18-0 because of Randy Moss.
That's true.
And then they went 18-1 because they forgot how to play football in the Super Bowl against the best defensive line ever. There's no way he shouldn't have a ring. There's no way.
No, I gotta agree with that.
I mean, for somebody who's a Bills fan, it's crazy for you to even say there's no way he doesn't have a ring. I mean, you know how hard it is when your team goes 4 times and don't win one. I mean, it's very hard to get a ring.
Yeah, you're right. Whatever, blah, 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 blah. Bill Belichick and the 18-0 Patriots when that game is in his hands, but he's trying to drop back the pass. 5-step drop against the damn, I want to say young you are, Jason Tuck, young 22-year-old, 23-year-old, with Michael Strahan. I mean, there's no way in hell you can get a 5-step drop against that team. It's impossible. They would be 19-0 if the coach wouldn't have been such a freaking know-it-all genius schmuck and just ran the ball a few more times in the second half and have a ring. The only reason why Randy Moss doesn't have a ring is because Bill Belichick wanted to give it all to Tom Brady and make him look like he was better than Joe Montana. But you know what? It was so obvious during the game. It was so obvious.
It all sounds good, but at the end of the day, when you really sum it all up, I mean, you got a whole lot of questionable games too. Like he had some games that where it was just like phenomenal, and then you break it down. But he got games where he just like left the field like his mind wasn't here. I mean, so
yeah, his quarterback then. His quarterback was cool. You know, Vince Young and I don't even know the other guy's name. Jeff George. Who the hell was his quarterback?
But the whole thing was the best receiver, not the best quarterback. Quarterback don't even matter. The point of the matter is, like we don't question about Joe Montana being a.
The point of the matter is that Joe Montana had 2 rings before Jerry Rice joined the team. Joe Montana had 2 rings before Jerry Rice joined the. Joe Montana had 2 rings before Jerry Rice joined the squad. That's the point. So when you got a damn good quarterback and a damn good coach who just plays football and lets the all-star, all-knowing, all-seeing everything Joe Montana take a backseat and let Roger Craig run the ball for a little while, that's a hell of a coach to do that. Okay, because a punk-ass coach is going to say, you know what, I want my quarterback to look even bigger. And that's exactly what Bill Belichick did. He wanted his quarterback to look like he was walking on water, and that's why they lost that Super Bowl. exactly what you know.
Like I said before, Randy Moss, this is not the first time Randy Moss done did that. Randy Moss, it was typical Randy Moss. Randy Moss was, he will never be claimed to be the best wide receiver. He is not the best wide receiver ever to play the game. No, he's not. He will never be that.
But that goes back to Randy Moss. Michael Carson will be just quick.
Right, whatever.
I'm saying that goes back to the right point.
What is that? So you guys, hold on. Let me get it straight. You guys really think that Randy Moss at 34 years old really quit on the Super Bowl? Now, you think that? Everybody on this podcast, yes. Really?
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is,
What do you mean without watching? I didn't think he quit.
I just wish he would have.
34-year-old dude.
I wish he would have put his arms up.
He just didn't try for it. He just caught that. He just caught that.
Yeah, I wish he would have at least attempted to put his arms up or something.
They're gonna make a difference.
All right, man. Maybe you're right. I mean,
So going into the next season, the 2013 season, who you think gonna win the Super Bowl for Super Bowl 49?
Cowboys. I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why.
you mean 2014?
But go.
Oh yeah, 2014.
But go ahead.
Yeah,
But
2014.
This was I can never talk. Let me get my point across, then y'all could go. We all go in a row like we supposed to. That's just let everybody else want to talk it. Well, anyway, I think Cowboys.
We heard you slobbing down Yosemite Sam. Next. You ruined Tootie Slobber Knobber. Next.
Hey, Herschel, who you think gonna win it?
I don't even know, man, because the NFL is a bunch of surprises. I think it's anybody game next year. There's going to be there's a lot of people coming in from college. A lot of people on some growth from last year. A lot of people going off the middle from last year. I don't really know. We just wait and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I'm a Cowboys fan, so of course I'm gonna say the Cowboys. But coming out of the NFC, I mean, it's gonna be tight, and especially we got to still see what's gonna happen in free agency and the draft. But you know, you're gonna have teams. The Cowboys will be definitely in the discussion. I think. You know, they got a new Tampa 2 defense with them, but you got Seattle. You know, they're like a wide receiver away, you know, to pair him up with Sidney Rice and then with Zach Miller in the middle. So, you know, they definitely going to be a threat. San Fran, of course, you know, they pretty much probably going to bring back the same team and probably add a few veterans here and there. And then in the AFC, you always got to, you know, have New England in the discussion. You know, of course, they're going to get better. I think Pittsburgh might be getting old first on the defensive end. Baltimore, I'm not sure if they'll be able to repeat. Pretty much, I'm pretty much ready to bet that they're not going to repeat. Houston, you got to watch out for. And right now, for far as the AFC, that's pretty much as far as I can go. So, what'd you think, Kev?
And I would say, and the sad thing about, well, the greatest thing about football is, you know, as a fan of, you know, this sport itself, there's so many teams that could do great. You know, great is not necessarily, you know, graded upon who wins the Super Bowl. So that's the best thing about the league. But the sad thing about football is, when it comes, it pretty much comes down to the same old people. And I would say Steelers, Broncos, no, not even Broncos second. Steelers, Patriots, and then possibly the Broncos on the outside looking in. And then 49ers, Giants, and possibly the Seahawks. But out the whole picture, simply because the Seahawks is made up of people who've never won a Super Bowl primarily. It might be a kicker or something on the team I don't know about, but It's just the same old guys. Always win Super Bowl rings, And, we just saw with the Ravens. Joe Flacco didn't really win one before, but, you just replaced Flacco with Trent Dilfer. And Trent Dilfer doesn't play maybe as well as Joe Flacco, but he played a hell of a Super Bowl when it was his time, so I can't discredit him, It's the same old guys, man. It's the same old guys winning championships every time. And then you also got somebody like New Orleans looking out from the outside looking in. They got their coach coming back, to make one trade, and that could be it for them, a key player, whether it be a defensive lineman or safety or wide receiver, who knows, running back. They're probably one player away in New Orleans from making some serious noise. So they just reinstated it. I'm not a believer in Sidney Rice. And the fact that Sidney Rice is so young, and he's young in his contract as well, I think that he's a hindrance. I don't like him. I don't root for him. I think he needs to cut his hair. Not majorly. He doesn't need a buzz cut or nothing. He needs to trim it down. I think that's part of his problem. Like, I can't for the life of me believe that they cut T.O., Terrell Owens, for $80 an hour he was making. Then they go get Sidney Rice, and he drops every single pass on third down, whether it's 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 17. He'll drop every one of them. And he's making what? What is he making, guys? $8 million a year, maybe more.
Well, you're making $8 an hour. We talk about predictions, not about how much he's making, not about Sidney Rice. What I'm going with is the Cowboys.
But that's my prediction. I did not win. My prediction would have a hell of a chance had it not been for Sidney Rice. I think that if that's your number one receiver, and it's hard for you to win
this year. I think
why do you always have a problem with what I'm saying? Why do you always mad at me? I don't understand that. Seriously, dog.
We going on
seriously. Young running back. They got a kick returner. The weakest link on the team is their number one receiver. It's the weakest link on the whole team. It's Sidney Rice. That's my prediction.
But yeah, the one thing.
Cowboys. And I'm giving you the reasons why, and I'm telling you why. And I'm still it's about time Tony Romo go ahead. Okay, okay, I'm talking right now.
I'm a Bills fan. The Bills have no shot in hell. No shot in hell at even being a playoff contender, possibly, definitely never, ever for 2014 Super Bowl contender. I could say that with total confidence.
Okay, but
I'm never going to leave my team.
Yeah,
it was never
right.
But the Bills have no shot at being a Super Bowl contender for 2014. I don't know why you feel the need is,
17 or 13 or 19 or 20. Keep it going. Because, it don't matter.
What I'm saying is, as the Bills said, I recognize when you have a weak link. Out of that, because Seattle's in a heck of a position where they got everything kind of lined up, except for they don't have a number one receiver, but they think they do, which is like one of the worst places you could be in. Dallas is a great team. They've never had that problem, except for like a half a season when they had Roy Williams. But besides that, that's it. That's only like a half, like maybe. It's probably 8 games of that season. They thought that he was number one, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
But they've never really experienced having the number one receiver going into the season this year when Sidney Rice was hurt, like kind of half the year, and the other half he just dropped everything. He dropped passes in the NFC semi-conference finals, and he's going to do the same shit next year. And he's making like $9 million the following season. They have no choice. This was his first year of his contract, so he's really got them shackled. It's a big deal, man.
Yeah, and
that trying to do free safety because they're paying this guy $9 million. Like, it's a big deal, and he's dropping everything.
Let's talk about the Kobe Bryant, Dwight Howard beef.
and he's like that now. That's right. What are you talking about? What teammate ever? Of course, he wanted other people in there rooting to get that other championship, but it's not going to happen. Shaq never even said Kobe was the worst teammate. Where'd you get that from? Shaq never said that. I said that. That wasn't. I was me who said that. That wasn't short. That wasn't Herschel. That was Kevin. Even the person he had his biggest beef with never even said that about him. So where'd y'all get that from? You know who told me that? You ready? Would you like to know who told me that? I mean, Shaq just. Would you like to know who told me? Who that statement that where they got that from? Would you like to know where they got Kobe Bryant being the worst team ever? Would you like me to tell you who told me that? The Colorado Police Department. Oh my God. Worst teammate ever. Come on, man. How you gonna really bring that up about that man, man? When we talk about basketball, I gotta bring it up because she was a complete slut. She was a complete. She was a whore. She was a complete slutbag. Everybody knew it, but Kobe still felt compelled to tell on Shaq. Well, this was already faithfully married for over 10 years with 3 kids, living in an Orlando mansion on the water. When he saw the sunlight rise on the horizon, on the lake, on the ocean, that is, it looked like a picture. But Kobe Bryant felt compelled to ruin his home life for his own personal needs. That's not basketball. When everyone knew that she was a jump off, when everyone knew Kobe would walk free, he still told on Shaq. Michael Jordan Gamble.
but let me tell y'all. Let me tell y'all about.
Got nothing to do with basketball.
Well, with the whole Kobe.
That was 4,000 miles away in Miami, and Kobe said, "I'm the worst teammate ever, and don't you ever believe and forget that." Thank you very much.
I mean, with the whole thing with Kobe and Dwight, I mean, I see it kind of with both ways. You know, I think that Kobe needs to. Well,
no,
first.
You Kobe goes both ways.
No. I can kind of see both arguments on it. You know, I think that Dwight needs to be pushed. You know, because he's coming from Orlando. You know, he was the big star. Now he's coming to L.A., you know, with the championship rings, with the history that the Lakers have. You know, it needs to be a certain mindset that he needs to have, you know, to be with the Lakers. And it's all about winning. So I understand Kobe on that point. But what Kobe loses me with is that it's not just Shaq. It's not just Dwight Howard. He's done this to Pau Gasol this year. You know, saying that Pau Gasol is like, you know, oh, he shouldn't be complaining. He need to put on his man pants or something. He said something crazy where basically questioning Pau Gasol because he was complaining about his game, his playing time, or his role in the system that D'Antoni has. And so, you know, I feel like, you know, Kobe, you know, okay, we understand you have 5 championship rings, okay? But let's, you know, he's getting beside himself sometimes too. And it's like, let's all remember, those first 3 rings, he had the most dominant player in the league as his teammate. You know what I mean?
Are you guys related? Because you sure don't sound like a rational human being that will even know this other guy that comes with a last name is with me. Let him make his point, man. Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you good. No, but you know, it's like everyone needs to understand that. It's like, you know, well, Kobe needs to understand that. You know, because you know, those first 3 championships, and then the same person that he's criticizing, Pau Gasol, is the same one that helped him win those last 2 championship rings. So I think Kobe, I understand him being a stern leader and getting his teammates ready, but you should see it too many times where he's basically showing out and showing up his teammates. You know, you'll see it on the court where he's yelling and arguing, and you don't even see the coach doing that. Even when Phil was there, you never seen them get on the players like that, like Kobe has. And I think Kobe is one thing to be a leader, but you got to have your teammates behind you too. It can't be all about Kobe being Bryant. It can't be all about you trying to reach Michael Jordan. And his whole thing is, I want to be better than Michael Jordan, the number 24. You know what I mean? One over Jordan. You know, he wants to get his 6th ring so he can be tied with Jordan. Everything's with Jordan, and I can understand that as a competitor. But you can't, you know, demean your teammates as well. Those teammates have to respect you.
Yeah, you know what? You know what, Ray? I'm not cutting you off.
Oh no, I'm good.
One thing. That's the thing. I think that's the one thing he takes from Jordan the most. That's the worst. Now, sometimes people, you know, like me, this is just like me and you know. Sometimes we'll latch on to the worst part of our heroes. And the worst thing about Jordan was he would just rip apart his teammates, belittle his teammates. He get a rookie in and just rip them apart to the fact that the rookie couldn't even be in the league 2 years from that day, you know? Because he was just ripping you apart to see how serious it was. And I think that Kobe justifies his behavior because Jordan did the same thing.
Yeah.
And everyone knows that's the worst thing that Jordan did. You know, had he not been such an ass to his teammates, especially the new recruits or the new free agents, that they could have been somebody who just gave him, you know, 14, 15 points and 10 rebounds, which is a hell of a big deal. But Jordan was he was so thirsty for a new big man, a dominant big man, that he would, when he got a new power forward, a new big time small forward or a center, he would just degrade you as a rookie in practice. And he would wear you down to a love that you couldn't even play no more. Like, you know, it's documented. Like, at least 2 guys that he played with that were big men, 2 years after he played with them, weren't even in the NBA anymore, period. You know what I mean? And I think that Kobe justifies his behavior by it, and he knows that Jordan did the same thing.
But that's kind of like the gift and curse, though, because without that, that's why they end up being basically out the league, because they have that person pushing them. I mean, if somebody gets the best out of you, you're going to have to perform better. I mean,
are you seriously thinking that he got the best out of Shaq? Okay. Let me just justify it by this because right now, obvious.
What you just said? You say Kobe didn't get the best out of Shaq?
Kobe was a nobody. Kobe was a nobody. It's not the same. When him and Shaq, this whole argument doesn't talk about Kobe Bryant as he is now, or as he is with at least 3 rings. And what Kobe with at least 3 rings is a different story. Because Jordan wasn't like that either until Jordan was in the league for like 6 years at least. He was hired on big boys after about 6 years.
You finished with your point?
Even though he didn't really have rings, he didn't have no rings after 6 years, but Jordan knew who he was after 6, 7 years. He was a jerk.
Are you finished?
I'm gonna say, like, you don't bring up, because if the conversation comes down to Shaq, I'm gonna say one sentence. I'm gonna say one sentence. If the conversation comes down to Shaq versus Kobe, then this is a conversation. No, give me a time machine. Give me a time machine. Let's put them both in the time machine, and Kobe will make some noise. Kobe will do some damage. But Shaquille O'Neal, if they were both at between 24 and 26 years old, right? Kobe Bryant will make some damn noise. But that damn Shaquille O'Neal, that goddamn Shaquille O'Neal, any era, any time, ever, of the NBA, would have damn near, almost, no answer for him. He was ridiculous at any time they ever bounced a basketball in any country on the planet. Kobe Bryant will make some noise. We already got that. So much more than the problem. There is no center. None of them. Bill Russell would not have 11 rings. if Shaquille O'Neal breathed air on the same time he was playing, there is no possibility. No one matches up with Shaq. No one. And what I'm saying is, it makes a lot of sense to understand Kobe got the best out of Shaq. Because remember when Shaq went to the finals, how you just tell me is that about Kobe versus Shaq? And then you say he got the best out of Shaq. You are bugging. Are you not let me finish talking? Kobe averaged 50 points a game for 3 rings. 16 points a game for 3 rings. But he going to have to you're just talking. You're not listening. Everybody, white people only one talking on the phone. Everybody else is listening and everybody get their point across. You're the only one just talking and not listening. What's wrong with your brain? It's nothing wrong with you. Dude, let me finish. Then you can say what the hell you got to say. What I'm saying to you is, Kobe got the best out of Shaq because Shaq went to the finals without Kobe and a la Dwight Howard in the same goddamn jersey in the same town. It didn't win nothing. When he came to LA with Kobe, he won 3 rings. Kobe needed Shaq just like Shaq needed Kobe. It went hand in hand. Just like Michael needed Scott to get his ring. What I'm saying is, I'm not done. What I'm saying is, if Kobe didn't have that fire in him, the heart of a champion, that was bullshit. Are you not letting me finish? Don't say nothing. What I'm saying is, I'm talking now. I'm talking. It don't matter what you say right now. I'm talking. And like I said, my point was, again, Jordan had Scottie Pippen. Kobe was just as good for Shaq as Shaq was for Kobe. And he tried to get that out of Dwight. That's why the confusion is there. Point blank, period. They both Orlando had Shaq and Dwight. You could take them to the finals and produce absolutely nothing. So when they both come with Kobe won the same thing that he did with Shaq when Shaq came to LA with his championship.
Well, we're not going to have it here. It's not going to happen in LA.
No, but that's the whole point, though. That's the whole point. It wasn't about Kobe versus Shaq. It's about Kobe won the same thing from Dwight that he had with Shaq. Common sense.
For what? They're going to have like coach. I don't know. It's over.
That's to be seen. But what I'm saying is that's the whole point of the whole topic. Is because that's what all Kobe wants. He don't care about none of the other stuff. He wants a ring. Period. That's all he wants. Like Ray said, he want to have, like Jordan, he want to get sick. He want to do it by any means necessary. If the white got to play with a bad back, he need to play with a bad back. If Pop Gasol is not balling like you want him to do, he need to be balling like you want him to. If anybody knows how to win a championship, I will go by a dude that got 5 rings. Scotty.
Okay, we're bumping. Everybody got quiet. I started. 30 seconds. Talk about boxing. Right now, boxing is looking real horrible. We need to get some real quality matches, and Floyd Mayweather needs to start fighting more, stop talking less. Same thing with Manny Pacquiao. Same thing with the heavyweights is horrible. I don't even watch them anymore. And I wish, even though I love him to death, Sugar Shane Mosley just stay retired. Talking about coming out of retirement to fight Paulie. I can't even pronounce his last name. The Magic Man. Paulie the Magic Man. 147 for a championship. Which Shane do have a chance to win because the Magic Man has absolutely no power. And Roy Jones talking about fighting Steven, I can't remember his last name, Otto. He's another old retired fighter. He's 48, and Roy Jones is 44. Please stop. Just sit down. Y'all go to one of my favorite boxers of all time. So really, I'm going to run the Holyfield. Another favorite of mine. Sit down. Stop. This is a young man's game. Stop coming back for money. Coming out of retirement. That's the bottom line. Stop lying how much you love the sport. Maybe you do love the sport, but you love that money more. Stop before you really get hurt. I'm done.
That was great. Because on some real stuff, I think we need to talk about that another time too. In fact, because a whole lot of them boxers are coming back and they're a little bit too old, man. That is true.
Yeah, they ain't white, yo. We're 40 years old. They're looking fight. Stop.
Yeah, but now, how old is Mayweather?
36.
Yep. Super Bowl in New York, I definitely looking forward to seeing the Cowboys going against maybe New England in that Super Bowl. So that's what they'll look forward to in New York next year. 2014 Super Bowl, Dallas Cowboys, and I say the New England Patriots. So all in between from now to then, I want to see Floyd fight Pacquiao, hopefully before next year. And in basketball, I mean, these playoffs about to be something right here, man. This is about to be a good NBA Finals, and playoffs about to come up. I mean, especially in the East, it's going to be very hard for Miami to repeat. You got the Knicks in Chicago, in Indiana, Boston. I mean, it's a whole lot of teams in the East that's going to give a whole lot of issues to Miami. So these playoffs about to be something big, and I think we're going to be in for a good, telefied sports year. I'm done.
I just want to bring up, first of all and foremost, the NBA, because this is all I got left as a man right now, because this is the dark days of summer and the spring coming up. Without the NFL, it's kind of bad. But salute, first and foremost, to the All-Star Championship Boston Celtics for completely dismantling and embarrassing the Kobe Bryant coach Los Angeles Lakers last night, going 6-0 without Rajon Rondo. As I predicted, these guys will play so much better and more passionate without that point guard leader that they have in Rondo, and they're doing it. KG is so focused. Paul Pierce is looking 20 years younger. Way to go, guys. Keep it going. I don't know how far they're going to go in the playoffs. They're going to give it their all. I want to also mention the baseball, who is coming up, because you got the All-Star game coming up in just a week. Not even a week, just a few days. And after that, the playoffs and the championships, and it's all about baseball for a little bit. I want to talk to these guys and just mention to them that maybe we could trim that season down 40 games, 35 games or so. Let's make that season more impactful. It doesn't have to start so soon, because I think that baseball is losing some fans because it's entirely too long. What is it, 145 games? This is ridiculous. The baseball off season is only 3.5 weeks. It's just too long, and people really like the sport. It's just too long, and you guys are playing games at 3 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon when everyone has to work. Nobody can make these games. The kids have school. The parents got to work, and the game is on at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. What gives? Somebody do something about it. Let's find a way to get 35 or 40 games subtracted from the season and make it more impactful. That'll be a big deal. And last and foremost, I want to go ahead and just say, either you allow steroids and HGH and PEDs, or you do Olympic-style drug testing, dope testing to every single sport on the planet. There is no in-between anymore. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the bickering. I'm sick of the scapegoating. I'm sick of them putting Barry Bonds on the cross, but letting this other guy slide, and then letting Lance Armstrong, after he made $125 million. Oh yeah, by the way, I use shit. I'm a little bit sick of that. So either you just institute Olympic-style doping, testing, 24-hour random, or who cares? It's no in-between anymore. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Y'all make great points. My whole thing is we got the All-Star game next weekend. All-Star weekend. I think we're gonna probably go into more far as our next week podcast about like a possible topic is LeBron, never being in the slam dunk contest, and and what do we like, far as our Saturday night, for our All-Star weekend. Also, we got until September to wait for the Super Bowl. For the NFL season to start. So, like Kevin said, this is just like the downtime of the year, trying to get back to, the other sports. to pass time before the football season. Like even golf, I would like to see Tiger Woods win a major this year. Probably Serena and Venus win one of the majors in tennis, and also we got the NBA, and I want to look out. I want to just put on notice right now that I think look out for the New York Knicks in the East. Everyone has Miami, but I think everyone needs to look out for the New York Knicks. And then out of the West, you got several teams. But definitely look out for the Clippers. They're no joke, even though they got blown out tonight against Miami. Once they're fully healthy, they're going to be no joke. Them, Memphis, kind of sleepers out of the West. Be on the lookout for them. So, but with that said, that's our podcast, and thank you for joining us, and join us next time.
Thank you so much for joining us for another edition of ForRealSportsFans.com podcast. Fellows, we had a wonderful discussion today. And to all you listeners, I definitely want you all to go to www.ForRealSportsFans.com to get the latest in sports. Thank you so much. And until next time, best of luck to your teams.